What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another Prizepicks NBA player props video. This one going to be breaking it down with you guys. A 6-pick flex for this beautiful slate tonight for the Flex Friday. Coming to you a little bit late tonight, guys. I apologize. I already got the plays highlighted. We're going to get through it as quick as we can, breaking it down, giving you the exact reasons why I like these, and giving you a 6-pick flex. I have been grinding all day long. We have a ton of props on the board to love. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 gamers. So this slate is unbelievably good. I got a lot of plays over in the VIP already, guys. If you're looking to get access to every single one of my plays, today would be a great day to join. Over there, it is patreon.com/KJK_DFS. It is linked below in the description, and I'm going to comment it and pin it at the top of the comments, guys. So that's the best way to know you're purchasing the right thing. A lot of people have joined the YouTube fan club, and that is not the premium content. So I just don't want people purchasing the wrong thing. If you want to just ensure you're clicking on the right thing, I'll comment it and I'll pin it at the top from now on in the top of the comments. But I'm going to give you guys 6 picks here today. I can't lock these in with you guys live like I usually do, strictly because I already have so much exposure to the plays that I'm capped on them, right? So I can't even use my flex on this, not because I don't love the plays. I really love the plays. I am capped to $40 per ticket now on my Prizepicks account, and I can only win $5,000 per athlete. So I've already, used all my cap on these plays. So that's why I kind of can't place them with you live here, and mixing and matching them with the other plays that are non-fantasy props that are going to get bumped. I talk about that all the time. But the fantasy score props I share with you guys on the channel, because you can actually get these in. Unlike the other props, where if there's good value in the non-fantasy props, guys, you're tailing someone, like, they should be getting bumped throughout the day. A ton of my picks have already got bumped, so that's kind of how that all shakes out. But if you enjoyed the content, would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you haven't checked out Prizepicks, use the promo code KJKDFS when you sign up today to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100. And let's get into the picks. We'll go into the breakdown. Like I said, I'm going to try to make this as quick and as efficient as possible for you guys, while also explaining why I like the plays. Pick number 1, we're going with the Atlanta Hawks and Indiana Pacers game. This game has the highest total on the slate. Unbelievable total, a 262 over under, 2.5 point spread in favor of the Indiana Pacers. The Hawks have a guy that's misrepresented on Prizepicks. It's going to be Saddiq Bey at the 3 position here. 129.75 implied total for them. You look at the rotation, Saddiq Bey's getting some really solidified minutes now. You look at the last couple games, 36, 32, 32, 34, 38. He's playing low, mid to upper 30s in minutes. And he's a guy that when you're looking at his fantasy point per minute production on the season, Saddiq Bey is putting up 0.8 fantasy points per minute in the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format. So, a little under a fantasy point per minute. If he's going to be playing in the mid to upper 30s, that's going to be having him score 30 or more fantasy points, especially in this kind of a game environment. The pace in this game is going to be unbelievable. 262 total. Look at the projected pace. As the top projected pace on the entire slate. No surprise to me. A 103 projected pace for them. So Saddiq Bey is the first guy that is misrepresented over here on Prizepicks for me today. 25.5 fantasy score. He shouldn't be in the mid-20s. He should be upwards more towards the 30 mark, upper 20s, if not into the 30s. He's barely surpassed this the last 2 times out, only putting up 25.6, 26.2 after putting up 25.6 the game prior, and then 31 and 29. But like I said, he's playing in the 30s. He's putting up a little under, and then you factor in the game environment. This is certainly a ceiling type of game environment for him, right? Huge total. The game should really fly. That's obviously going to help his case to surpass his fantasy score and be able to kind of hit his ceiling here tonight for us. So he'll be the first guy. You can see how he's getting the job done. 10 points, 1 block, 2 assists, 8 rebounds, 11 rebounds, 1 block, 11 points, 1 steal, 15 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. Pretty well rounded. Like I said, it's just he's misrepresented, right? The minutes are there, the fantasy point production there. It doesn't add up as far as where he's priced right now. So that'll be pick number 1 here for us. Saddiq Bey, over 25.5 fantasy score. Pick number 2, another guy that's going to be mispriced here. It's going to be in this New York Knicks Philadelphia 76ers game. The big trade went down, sending OG Anunoby over to the New York Knicks. He's now really a big part of this rotation. You look at his minutes over the last 2 games with the Knicks, 35 and 34 minutes. He's going to play in the mid-30s. He is on a new team, so obviously the fantasy point production isn't going to be exactly matched up with what he was on his old team of the Raptors. But if you ask me, he's even a bigger part of this team on the Knicks. It should just go up for him. He's putting up 0.81 fantasy points per minute, Once again, if he's going to play in the mid-30s, Prizepicks has him mispriced. That's going to put him, he's right around a fantasy point per minute. In the mid-30s, it's a very similar story to Sadiq Bey here. In another good game environment, 232.5, over under 6-point spread. That's a pretty hefty total. Projected pace in this one, right middle of the pack, 99.2 projected pace, but it's once again a misprice for me, right? Because OG's only in the mid-20s. Very similar story. They're both priced at the same line here. 25.5 fantasy score. That's a mistake by Prizepicks. He's cleared this in each of the last 2 games. Keep in mind that is both with the Knicks squad. 28.6, 27.7 fantasy score. That's too low for pick number 2. Pick number 3 is going to be in the same game. It's going to be Joel Embiid. Now, Joel Embiid is a guy whose ceiling is absolutely ridiculous. This is a nationally televised game tonight on ESPN. This guy's putting up 1.9 fantasy points per minute in the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format. That's better than anyone in the league, and it's not even close. That is ridiculously good. The closest guy to him really is going to be Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous, who are putting up 1.6. Then we go down to Nikola Jokic, who's putting up 1.74. You got Giannis, who's kind of up there as well, but no one's touching this. That's like 2 fantasy points per minute for Joel Embiid. It's absolutely absurd what he's doing. His ceiling's 70 plus every time he takes the floor. It seems like I'm taking this guy's over like every time he plays. I took his under 1 time this year on his fantasy score, and I believe I did promote that on the channel, and he went over. He's just been that good. He's averaging 70.3 over his last 5. Good luck slowing down Joel Embiid. He can assist the basketball. He can rebound the basketball. He can get those blocks and steals. He is a Prizepicks fantasy scoring cheat code. ESPN nationally televised, always something that I kind of factor in. I mean, that's probably the most casual thing you'll hear me say on this channel from like a sharp sports bettor. That doesn't really matter, but it's just a nice little touch that I look for. Big game, national TV, but the numbers are all there. It's all processed. It's all numbers. 15 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 31 points. 31 points, 2 steals, 4 blocks, 9 assists, 10 rebounds. He's a triple-double threat every time he takes the floor. Then you factor in the blocks and steals. His upside is just stupid good, man. He's been unfair. So that's going to be the first 3 for you guys. Then we'll keep the story going here with a very similar guy in Kawhi Leonard, who can get the job done in so many categories, and his minutes have been through the roof. That's one thing I didn't bring up there for Joel Embiid, but he's going to play in the upper 30s in competitive games. He just returned from an injury last time, played 31. That game did turn into a blowout. Expect him to be out there playing, 36, 37, 38 minutes here in this one tonight. Same can be said for Kawhi Leonard, who has returned from injury. He's been healthy. He's been fantastic. A 115.75 implied total for him tonight in a 230.5 game environment. Have him going over again. I've been targeting his fantasy score a ton. 40 minutes last time against Phoenix. And he's a guy that's, once again, a ridiculously good fantasy point per minute producer in the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format. His per minute rate this season, 1.24. I would even argue that that's a little low compared to what he can really do. 26% usage rate, 42.6 fantasy points per game. And if he keeps getting these minutes, keeps producing at this rate, he's going to go over every time. Blocks and steal machine, same thing as what we talked about with Embiid. Can do it in every single category. These guys are both studs. Top players in the league. 40 minutes last time. He put up 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 30 points. You cannot ask for much more than that out of a guy than Kawhi Leonard, and I do have him projected to go over here again tonight. 42.5. He's gone over in 4 of the last 5. He's averaging 49.9. I do have him very similar. And it looks like we just got a bump as I'm recording here at the bottom of the screen that you guys can't see at a later pick. That stinks, but we'll continue here. Kawhi Leonard going over 42.5 for us here for pick number 4. And then, or pick number 5, I'm sorry. So Bey 1, OG 2, 3 Embiid, 4 Kawhi. Something went wrong here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quickly got bumped. Which is going to be another pick that I discussed with you guys, but something isn't matching up here. One of these plays got taken off the board or something possibly, because I don't have my full 6 now. Bear with me, guys. I'll get a quick answer because I did send this into the VIP. Yes, I know who it is. It is Mr. Nick Claxton. Claxton got taken off the board fantasy. That was going to be one of my picks for you guys. That sucks. All right, we'll pivot live. 34.5 fantasy score was going to be one of my picks for you guys on Nick Claxton. As you can see, like I said, I already got capped on this guy, so I sent this into the VIP with just a screenshot of the picks I was going to be giving out in the video because I can't place anymore on these. So Claxton got taken off the board. We're going to have to pivot live here. And so quickly, I'm just going to wrap things up. I got to get this video out for you guys. So quickly is going to be my next pick here. In this late game, it's going to be the Sacramento Kings taking on the Toronto Raptors. Quickly, once again, part of that trade with the Knicks. He's been getting a lot of minutes in this rotation. We look at the Toronto Raptors rotation here. He's getting in the low 30s right now. He played 33 minutes last time, and a big piece of news here is Gary Trent Jr. is questionable, which is a pretty big piece of news. So if he's coming off the bench, he's a guy that's typically going to cut into the minutes a little bit for Quickly. Just coming off the bench, he's playing like 21, 26. That's going to increase Quickly's minutes even more in this one, in my opinion. There were some pretty juiced props on him earlier in the day that did get bumped on the Prizepicks board, like his PRA and like his points. His points, 18.5, it looks like they kind of mellowed out here, but he had 25.5 PRA. That got bumped to 26.5. So I like his fantasy score as a pivot here, 29.0. He's gotten over in each of the last 2 games, once again with his new squad. We talked about OG's new role. Quickly, same thing. He has a much larger role. And unfortunately, guys, number 6 pick was going to be Nick Claxton fantasy score, and they took it off the board as I'm recording. So I will pivot to another play that I really do like tonight in the fantasy scoring department. It's going to be Colin Sexton, but he did get bumped. Let me just see. I mean, there's other plays here that I'm on as well, but I really want to give you guys, that stinks. I really wanted to give you that solid 6 that I was on. But I do have max exposure to Colin Sexton as well. I'll promote the play. 24.0. He was at 23.5. I got all my exposure at 23.5, so I wanted to miss that bump. But I really like this play tonight. He really stuck out to me in my projections because his floor, Prizepicks has his, I still have his floor above where this bump is. I'm going to be honest with you. I saw this earlier in the day. I had said to my VIP, I don't know if I've ever had this happen where I've had a projection on a guy where his floor is higher than Prizepicks base projection. Meaning like even if he has a terrible game, he's going to go over based on my projections. And Sexton is that guy. So I really like this pick. It's just it got bumped, so I didn't really want to promote that. I was going to go with Nick Claxton just because of the bump, but I really like this play. So don't get me wrong. So Quickly and Sexton got bumped. I'm just going to promote those. If they don't surpass their bumps, obviously, I'm not going to count it as a win for the video today for you guys. But I really do like Colin Sexton. And he's going to get over for you guys. That sucks that happened mid-video. But if they repost Nick Claxton fantasy score, he was at 34.5. I have him getting in the upper 30s. If he's still in the mid-30s, play it. If he gets bumped up to the upper 30s, I would avoid it. So yeah, this will be my 6 guys. We'll go through and highlight them all now to round things out now that we had that little interruption. I apologize for that. They pulled the prop off the board as I'm recording, so I can't control that. But we'll go game by game here, and we'll explain why I like these picks to kind of round things out. So pick number 1, we are now going to go with Saddiq Bey. Said it. He's getting in, in the 30s. This game environment's really good. He's putting up right around 1 fantasy point per minute. Prizepicks just simply doesn't have him priced right for pick number 1. Pick number 2 is now going to be Colin Sexton because it was going to be Nick Claxton. They took him off the board. I really like this Sexton pick though. Quick little breakdown on his fantasy point production here while I got you. Colin Sexton, if I can find him real quick. Right here, he's putting up 1.07 fantasy points per minute, and he's a guy that's going to play in like the upper 20s. So once again, he shouldn't be priced in the low 20s. He should be priced in the upper 20s. So I've got him projected in the upper 20s, if not 30 plus. He's put up 30 plus in 1, 2, 3, 4 of the last 5. So that'll be pick number 2, Bey, Sexton. Pick number 3, we'll go down to the Knicks and Sixers game. Like I said, OG Anunoby has a much more expanded role. Really like him. He's underpriced. Same as Sadiq Bey. It's a similar story on the breakdown of those two. For pick number 3. Pick number 4, we talked about that massive ceiling with Embiid. It seems like he's putting up like 70 fantasy points in any game that stays close. So I really like him. So Bey over fantasy score, Sexton over fantasy score, OG over fantasy score, Joel Embiid over fantasy score. Pick number 5, we were going to go with that Kawhi Leonard play. Like I said, very similar to Joel Embiid. His ceiling is so good, and the minutes have been solidified, upper 30s into the 40s. And then pick number 5, once again, the other guy that's really taken a big expanded role from that New York Knicks trade, it has been Emmanuel Quickley. A 238 over under. This game should fly. This pick did get bumped. I can't control the bumps. This is why I promote fantasy score in the first place. And then even though I'm promoting fantasy score, they still took down a prop I like in Claxton. So that's why I always give you guys fantasy score. I have a ton of other props that I played today with my VIP that have been bumped and or taken off the board. So this is the 6, guys. This is the 6, okay? Over fantasy score for Emmanuel Quickley, over fantasy score for Kawhi Leonard, over fantasy score for Joel Embiid, over fantasy score for OG Anunoby, over fantasy score for Colin Sexton, and over fantasy score for Sadiq Bey. All these guys are mispriced on Prizepicks. I have a lot of exposure to them. So lock in while you can. Hopefully none of these get taken off the board, man. Already had Claxton get taken off mid-recording. I could see some of these guys that are underpriced get taken off, so I apologize if that happens, but I can't control it. So that's all for me in this one, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Once again, there's a ton more picks over in the premium. The KJK DFS VIP member package is going to be where it's at. If you're really looking to ramp up your game, you're getting serious, get in there as soon as you can. If you would have got in there this morning, it would have been a great time to join it. But there's still a ton more plays over there for this slate tonight, so it's a great night to join. Thanks for tuning in. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks NBA player props tonight, and we will see you in the next one.